Deutsch, get started. So, verb conjugation. So, first, before I start with the core grammar, I would like to ask everyone what is verb conjugation? What, according to you, is verb conjugation? A lot of people may know, may not know, people get confused, but remember that verb conjugation, it happens in all the languages. It happens in English, Hindi, Tamil, Marathi, any language you pick up, the verb is always, conjugated. I'll take an example. Let's take an example in English, to go, which is in Hindi called as jana. Okay. Now what happens when you are constructing the sentence? जब आप sentence construct करते हैं, मैं जा रही हूँ, वो जा रहा है. Okay. I am going. So that go becomes going. That is ing. So this ing ending, when you add, it means that you are conjugating the verb as per the subject. Subject, it means I, you, he, she, it, we, they, you all. These are called as subjects basically. So what happens if I want to construct a sentence in English? I say I am going. She is going. You are going. I don't say I go, you go, he go, she go. No. Okay. So basically, that ing part, ing part, is basically you're conjugating the verb. Okay. So the similar thing when you are constructing the German sentence, simple present tense sentence, you have to conjugate the verb. There are some basic rules which we have to remember. So the first one is all the verbs in German language must be conjugated. So basically what happens that all the verbs in German language that must be conjugated. I have emphasized more on must and not should. It means that it must be conjugated. Most of the verbs, that is 98%, end with en. Now, what is en? If you already know some basic German verbs, you will see essen means to eat. Okay, it ends with en. Trinken means to drink. Kaufen means to purchase, which ends with en. Laufen means to run. Okay, ends with en. Brauchen means need. It ends with en. Okay, so majority of the verbs, they end with en, and these verbs are called as infinitive verb. So जो भी verbs en से end होते हैं उनको बोलते हैं infinitive verb, और आप बोल सकते हो original verb, original form of verbs. Now verb conjugation are four types. May uh, you may have learned from your teachers that there are four types, or they just might have just taught you directly. I personally like to divide it into four types because it becomes very easy to understand. This is a definition in the layman terms which I have written. Editing of the original form en verbs as per subject and rule is called conjugation. What is a verb conjugation? Basically, जो original verb होता है en, उसको आप edit करते हो subject के हिसाब से, that is I, he, she, you, they के हिसाब से, और एक rule लगता है. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna see in our next slides how the conjugation happens. Okay, before the conjugation part, we need to understand German language. In German language, what is I, what is you, what is he, she, it, all these things we have to understand. So verb conjugation, as I mentioned, divided in four parts. Regular verb conjugation, this in German is called as regelmäßig verb. Regelmäßig Verben. Okay, so regular verb conjugation, vocal vexel, again another type of vocal vexel, and ten ending verb. So what we're going to do is, first we will focus in today's class, we have to focus on regular verb conjugation. So personal pronomen, now personal pronomen, which I mentioned that I को क्या बोलते हैं, you को क्या बोलते हैं, he, she, it. Okay, so what is we, they, you. So we need to understand that in German also. So first of all, I is called as ich. I is called as ich, and it is first person singular. Okay, so it's first person singular. Then you, you is called as du. Okay, so you is called as du. So which is tu of Hindi, and it is informal. It is informal, and it is second person singular. Then you have er, sie, es, which means he, she, it, which is third person singular. I'm going to repeat again. very important to have your basics clear, guys. Okay, so I is ish, do is you, which is informal. So दो type के you देखेंगे. Informal हमने already पढ़ चुके हैं हम. As yes is he, she, it. Okay, so I hope this is clear. We, we means hum sab. That is we. Okay, and then you have you all, which is called as ear. Now please remember that I must be small. The moment you write I capital, it will change the meaning uh, to like, there are different meaning. I don't want to tell you in first class what is the meaning, because it might just create confusion. Remember that you all will be ear and I will be small. And then you have zz. Again, you will see here that this z, the first one is small and the other one is caps. Okay, so this small z relates to they, formal, and this big one relates again to you, but it is formal, that is aap of Hindi. Again, I'm going to repeat. We means wear, you all means ear, zz means they and you, formal. Now what happens is students get confused with these z and z. So क्या होता है कि प्रोनाउंसिएशन सेम है, स्पेलिंग सेम है, तो हमें लगता है कि कब क्या कैसे यूज करना है. बट ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग, मतलब ये जो contextual reading, you have to understand it contextually, you have to read it contextually, and it is extremely easy. Say for example, if you are reading a text about Aishwarya Rai, so you say Aishwarya Rai is a actress. Aishwarya Rai is married. And third line, I'm just reading it in German. She. Okay, so I will use she. Sorry, Z is um, Sie hat eine Tochter. Sie hat eine Tochter means she has a daughter. So tell me, what will I understand contextually? Will I understand it as they or you? Obviously, I will understand it as she, because I'm reading the text of Aishwarya Rai. So, and then you have the big Z, the gross Z, which means you. So we generally, when you start your lectures, you will you will learn these questions. Wie heißen Sie? Wo wohnen Sie? Yeah, basically, so it means that it is a formal way to ask you. It can be informal. Wie heißt du? Wo wohnst du? Yeah, like that. And this one is like formal z. Again, contextually you have to read. So I hope this is clear. If you have any doubts, you can always ask me questions, and I will try my best to resolve your queries. So personal pronomen, which also means subjects. Okay, which also means subject. It's very important that you get this basics clear, because you need to construct your sentences. Okay, then the next part is the rule. Now this is the rule part. Basically what happens, if you go back, if I go back to my slide, verb conjugation क्या होता है? Original form of verb, उसको edit करना है, मीन्स उसमें कुछ changes लाने हैं subject के हिसाब से और rule के हिसाब से. So subjects we have already done. So this is the subject which we have already done. We will have to understand the rule. Now this is the rule basically. This rule you have to by heart. There is no other option, but you have to only by heart. You guys are learning a language which is kind of a theory. Okay, so 80% will be logical, 20% or 15 10%. You have to accept the language as it is. It's not our mother tongue, so some things we just have to adapt. Okay, ish ending e. Okay, do st. I'm just pronouncing in English. This is my English pronunciation. Okay, and then LZS is T, Wear, EN, Ear, T, ZZ, EN. So this Z will be small, okay? It's a typo here. Okay. Ich, A. Now I'm pronouncing in German. Ich, A, Du, Este, RZS, T, Wear, AN, Ear, T, ZZ, EN. Basically, this you have to by heart. There is no other option, as I mentioned. Now we will try and do the conjugation. Let's try and do the conjugation. So let me just, yeah. Now let me take a verb common. Okay, common means to come. Common means to come. And let me just change this also quickly. Yeah. Remember that verb has to be small, has to start in small letter, start or maybe in the middle of the sentence also, because it's a verb. It must be always small. So verbs and adjectives are also always small in German language. Noun in the middle of the sentence also will be capital. Common means to come. I take a sentence, I come from India. This is my construction. Now this is my construction. So basically what I have to do, I is what? Ish. Okay, so I write here ish. Now common. So you have this verb in English, common. So common in German is, sorry, come in German is called as common. From means aus, which I'm just letting you know in advance. And India is called as Indian. India is called as Indian. Now basically this is my construction. So another important thing to remember is that in German language, verb is always on the second place. Verb is also always in the second place. Now this construction here, I have just, मैंने ये वर्ब लिया है और यहाँ पर जस्ट प्लेस कर दिया है. इट मीन्स मैंने कोई कॉन्जुगेशन यहाँ पर नहीं किया है. आई हैव नॉट येट कॉन्जुगेटेड द वर्ब. In the next line you will see, so this basically is wrong. Okay, wrong. It's a wrong one. Okay, it's wrong. Because why? Because I have not conjugated the verb. In the next line you will see how I do the conjugation. I come from India, the same example. So I is what? Ish. The verb is what? Common. Now, how you do the conjugation? You have to remove the en. You have to remove the en from the original infinitive verb. Okay, and then you have to add ish के साथ the ending क्या है? Ending है e. So I'm gonna replace it by e. And as mentioned above, aus Indian means from India. So basically, if I go to my slide, now you will understand the definition. Editing of original form of verbs. Editing means changes लाना as per subject. So ish वहाँ पर वो example में ish was a subject and ish का rule was what? E. So that is called as conjugation. Let's do some more practice. Let's do some more practice. You come from India. You come from India. यू दो टाइप के होते हैं. एज आई मेंशन, एक डू दैट इज इनफॉर्मल और एक होता है जी दैट इज फॉर्मल. सो वी विल डू first, we'll just go step by step, do and then as yes, like that. So we will take informal. So informal, it means, what is this? Do. Come, what is come in German language? It is common. But we have to conjugate the verb. We have to conjugate the verb. So you will delete this en. You have to delete the en and add what? St. Kommst. Du kommst aus Indien. Du kommst aus Indien. Okay. All good. Then the next example, he comes. So I'm just writing here that this was informal. जैसे तू इंडिया से आया है, kind of. Okay. Hmm. He comes from China. He comes from China. So he, what is he? Air. Okay. Now what is common? Sorry, what is come? Come means common. I wrote that entire verb, but what I have to do, I have to conjugate, which means that I have to delete en. The ending en must be deleted, and I have to conjugate, so I will replace it by t. House. China in German language is called as China. China. Okay, so it will be China. And if you want to say she comes from China, then it will be, she is what here? Z. Okay, so it will be Z commed. Again common, but then I have to delete it and write commed aus China. Similar way you will just go on. Similar way you will just go on. Please remember that this is the basic, construction, and it is very important. If you don't know verb conjugation, trust me, guys, you will face a lot of difficulty in further grammar topics because it gets multiplied. If you don't know this, this is the base, and your entire grammar topics will be haywire actually. So very important to get your basics correct. Again, as I mentioned, if you have any doubts, please don't hesitate to ask me. You can just um, type in your questions below. Let's practice it a bit more. So I'll take one verb, tanzen. Now tanzen means to dance. Tanzen means to dance, and T small because it's a verb, so T is small. If I want to write I dance in disco, okay, I dance in disco. So I is what? Ish. And what is dance? Tanzan. But what I have to do, I have to conjugate the verb. So I will delete en, I will delete en and write e. And ins, and disco is disco, ins disco. Preposition will change. Obviously, in my further classes, I'll let you know that why it changes, etc. I don't think it will be the right moment to explain you preposition, because preposition itself is, a heavy topic actually, the most heavy topic I would say. Now, please remember that a lot of students, what they do, shortcut. They want to take shortcut. So, if suppose this is the verb tanzan, and they know that ish ke sath e ending hai, so they only delete that n part. Okay, ish with ish, you might get answers correct, but trust me, guys, for do, as yes, the following verbs, the answers you will start getting wrong conjugation. So don't be alsi, don't be lazy, and just follow the rule. Let's take an example like we dance. If I want to say like we dance, so basically we is what? Wear, and tanzan is the verb. Now even if I delete this en, again if you see the rule, with wear the ending is what? En. Yeah, so it will be en again, so it is the same verb. So basically with wear and then zz, so with basically what I meant to say is wear and zz, the verb basically is same, it's similar. Okay, and then if you want to say like he dances, so it will be he is what? Air, and then tanzan is what? En. So you delete it and write T. So air danced, and then if you want to construct a sentence, just add a noun with a preposition. Okay, basically what happens is that in if you learn this topic, you can construct simple present tense sentences. Simple present tense sentences, that is, I drink water, I eat pizza, I go there, she is my friend, she comes here, etc., etc. Okay, now these are some of the examples which I have mentioned here. Try to practice it and get back to me. If you have any doubts, just let me know. So wohnen means to live, rauchen means to smoke, singen means to sing, schreiben means to write. Okay, I'm pronouncing again: wohnen, rauchen, singen, schreiben. Okay, so this one basically is regular verb conjugation. Then in my next class, I will tell you more about vocal vexel, what vocal vexel exactly is, how, what are the types of verbs under that category, and then we'll just move on further. I hope you liked today's session, and let me know if you have any questions. I will be, I mean, I will be there to help you guys. Thank you very much, guys, for joining the session, and see you soon. Bye. Cheers.